Hi, we're team number 1, and we're going to talk about biology, its fields of study, and its branches. And also, we're going to talk about how life began in Earth. So now we're going to talk about biology and its fields of study. What is biology? Biology is the science that studies all living things and their vital processes. This science subdivides into the categories it needs. We're going to talk about some fields of study that biology has. Let's start with histology. Histology is the study of microanatomy, cells or tissues or organs that has been seen through a microscope. Then we have agronomy. Agronomy is the science and technology of producing and using plants as food, fuels, and fiber. And it's the application of life. It's been from all the major crops of the world. Then we have anthropology. Anthropology is the study of us, human beings, from both past and present. Anthropology is the study human beings and our closest related species, primates. In anthropology, we also include social and cultural anthropology, which means the study of cultural and societies around the world. We also have ethnography and ethnology. This study the analysis of people around the world. And we also have archaeology, the study of human societies from their material remains. Then we also have physical and biology anthropology, the study of human evolution. Then we have paleoanthropology. This is the study of human and primate civilizations. Primatology is the study of primates, including gorillas, chimpanzees, and lemurs.
Ecology. Ecology is the study of the relationships between living organisms, including humans and their physical environment. It seeks to understand the vital connections between plants and animals and the world around them. Ecology also provides information about the benefit of ecosystems and how we can use air resources in ways that leave the environment healthy for future generations. Forensic anthropology. Applying anthropological expertise to the study of human remains in a legal setting, ranging from the study of local criminal cases to international cases of war crimes through the excavation of the graves of victims. Linguistics. The study of human language with specialized methods developed to record and analyze language worldwide, and language is used in everyday life applied. The use of anthropology applied to a variety of tasks in the public and private sectors. Biochemistry. Biochemistry explores the chemistry for living organisms and the molecular basis for the change occurring in the living cells. It uses the methods of chemistry, physics, molecular biology, and immunology to study the structure and behavior of the complex molecules found in biological material, and these molecules interact to form the cells, tissues, and whole organisms. Etiology. Etiology is defined as the science of finding causes and origins of a disease. Odontology. Odontology is the science dealing with the disease, growth, and structure of the teeth. It is also called a dentistry. Entomology. Entomology is the study of insects and the relationship with humans, the environment, and other organisms. Entomologists make great contributions to such diverse fields as biology, chemistry, agriculture, human and animal teeth, molecular science, criminology, and forensics.
One of the main branches of biology is botany, and botany is the scientific study of plants, and by plants we mean a wide range of living organisms from the smallest bacteria to the largest living thing. There is microbiology, which is the study of microscopic organisms such as bacteria, viruses, archaea, fungi, and protozoa. And this discipline includes fundamental research of the biochemical, physiological, cell biology, ecology, evolution, and clinical aspects of all organisms, including the host response to these agents. Is cytology. Cytology is the study of form and structure of cells, including the behavior of nucleus and other organelles. Cell biology is the study of the morphological organization, biochemical, physiological, genetic, developmental, pathological, and evolutionary aspects of cell and its components. Molecular biology is the study of the nature, psychochemical organization, synthesis, working, and interaction of biomolecules that bring about and control various activities of the protoplasm. Embryology is the study of fertilization, growth, division, and differentiation of the zygote into embryo or early development of living beings before the attainment of structure and size of the offspring. Genetics is the study of the inheritance of characters and heredity and variation. Heredity is the study of expression and transmission of traits from parents to offspring. Paleontology deals with the study of fossils or remains and impressions of past organisms present in rocks of different ages. Exobiology is the branch of scientific inquiry dealing with the possibility of life in the outer space. We also have zoology or animal biology, and it's the field of biology that, as the name says, study of the animals. And the word zoologic comes from the Greek words zion, meaning animal, and logos, meaning the study of.
Okay, and now I'm gonna talk about the most important branches of the biology. First, taxonomy. Taxonomy is the science of identification and classification of living organisms. Then, morphology. Morphology is a study of external, from size, shape, color, structure, and relative position of various living organs of living beings. Then, anatomy. Anatomy is the study of internal structure, which can be observed with the united eye after the dissection. Then, histology. Histology is the study of tissue, organization, and structure as observed through the light microscope. Then, psychology. Psychology is the study of different types of body functions and process. Then, ecology. Ecology is the study of living organisms, its relation to other organisms, and their environment. Then, eugenetics. It is a science which deals with factors related to improvement or impairment of race, especially that of human beings. Then, evolution. Evolution it is a study of the origin of lives as well as new types of organisms from the previous ones by modification involving genetic change and adaptations.
Okay, so now I'm going to talk about how life is started in the planet. The Earth is around 4.5 billion years old. Some scientists think that life started when the Earth's environment was strong enough to maintain life. But at the end, it's just a thought. We don't really know how it happened. The only thing that we have are theories and hypotheses. Many theories of life have been proposed. But since it's hard to prove or disapprove them, there is no fully accepted theory exists, said Diana Northrop, a cave biologist at the University of New Mexico. At first, when people were not curious about how everything was created or why the thing happened scientifically, most of them believed that God was behind everything that was existing on Earth. As we know, the cells are the basis of life.
They were discovered in the 17th century when the first microscope was invented, but it took a long time to realize how important cells were in the creation of life. Now, I'm going to talk about some theories and hypotheses that have been proposed over time about this topic. The first hypothesis was made in the savagely totalitarian country, the Soviet Union. What this hypothesis mainly stated was that a small body of water with organic compounds took the sun, and as a consequence of it, some of the compounds of the water combined to form a lifelike substance, for example a protein, that could evolve and become more complex. Another hypothesis is called the RNA world hypothesis. Scientists say that this hypothesis is improbable because it just explains how RNA was working on primitive life and how DNA and proteins developed on it.
Now, continuing with the topic of the theories, I have another two that try to explain the origin of life on Earth. The first one that I'm going to be talking about today is how life started with an electric spark. A lightning can generate amino acids and sugars from an atmosphere that is loaded with water, methane, ammonia, and hydrogen, as was shown in the famous Miller-Urey experiment reported back in 1953, suggesting that lightning might have helped create the key building blocks of life on Earth in its early days. As millions of years would go through, larger and more complex molecules could be able to form. Although research since then has revealed that the atmosphere of Earth back then was actually hydrogen poor, scientists have suggested that volcanic clouds in the early atmosphere might have held methane, ammonia, and hydrogen, and been filled with lightning as well. So that's the reason why this theory got rejected. Another theory that I'm going to be talking about is the one that states that life had a more simple beginning. This theory says that instead of developing from complex molecules such as RNA, life had begun with much smaller molecules that were interacting with each other. These might have been contained in simple capsules, and over time, more complex molecules that perform these reactions better than the smaller ones could have evolved. But as the other one, this theory has not been able to be proved, since there's still no way for us to know exactly how life was stated. Now, going back to the topic of my friend Noemi, as it has been shown, the cell is the basis of life. And the scientists have not wasted their time trying to recreate the process of creating a new living cell, but until the day, they have not been able to complete it successfully.